And poked around, where is it? A couple of spots around, yeah. There.
This is a dead easy way to lower the mast. A lot of boats this might not be possible, but for worms it sure works, and the theory is good to know. Secure the halyards to either side of the boat in line with where the mast is stepped. This means that even when the mast is being lowered, the tension will still stay the same, otherwise soon the shrouds will go loose and the mast has room to fall sideways. If I tried to lower the mast using the forestay as normal, the angle of the forestay with the mast halfway would be here, making the mast feel very heavy and lacking control. Any further and the mast would fall. By using the tiller bar, which in this case is the perfect length, secure one end to the foot of the mast and the other to fix where the forestay meets the bridle. Attach a 2-to-1 block or even more to both the bridle and the forestay. As you start to undo the lashings, the more the block and tackle will take over, holding the mast up. By having the tiller bar in place, it is holding out the forestay, making it much easier to lower the mast. I can confidently raise and lower the mast on my own. When spring comes, when I put the mast back up, I want to try on my own without stepping off the boat to prove I can do it in emergency in the middle of the sea.
Hi guys, so I've marked out where I'm going to cut. We've got the batten running along here. Once we've cut these out, we'll then be able to see where we can work on this batten to run the supports to the engine. As you can see the batten here, this is where we're going to attach some struts coming off it to support the engine.
I plan to repaint all 3 beams, so I'm going to give them all a key. Also looking out for any imperfections, rot or cracks in the glass. Rather than stopping and starting, for now I'm just going to mark it out and come back to it later with a grinder to open up the crack and see how damp the wood is underneath.
So I started poking around, I found a bit of damp pine under this fiberglass. I just wanted to show you, although this looks pretty solid, that black rotten wood behind it. So I just finished chiseling out this bit 2x1 that was here, that was all rotten. I'm now going to get the grinder on it with the sanding disc on it, just to clean up these edges. Just finished with the grinder. Got a nice clean finish now. Probably going to leave this for a week now just to be able to dry out completely, because the last thing I want is any moisture to be left in this bit of wood before I start epoxying it back together again. Just painted Blanchards, where I get the wood from. Just picked up the Douglas fir, which is going to be for the beams, and also the American oak, which is going to be for the wind vane. It's very exciting. I've got this package here, all wrapped up nicely, with my name on it. Car's a bit too small without a roof rack, so I'm sort of jousting with it out the back of the car.
I'm using West System epoxy. This stuff is crazy strong. It comes as 2-part with a ratio of every 5 measure of resin to every 1 measure of hardener. You have a choice of how fast you want the hardener to go off, slow, fast or very fast. It being cold and winter, I have chosen the fast hardener, otherwise it will be waiting days for it to go off. I also have colloidal silica, which is the powder we use to thicken the mixture. This stuff is really bad for you, so it's good practice to wear a mask and also gloves. I always tend to double up on gloves as it's sticky work and generally makes life easier. Measure out the 5-to-1 mix and stir like crazy. You want to be mixed in really well. We are now going to brush this runny mixture to all sides that will be touching, both the new timber and the beam. This process is called wetting out. After brushing every bit of surface with the 5-to-1 epoxy mixture, we are now going to make the same again, but also adding colloidal silica to make thicker for paste, which will be applied to any sides touching. This is the glue. Make sure you apply plenty to make sure there are no gaps. After then, when you're clamping the bit of timber in place, this is exactly what you're looking for. The epoxy is squelching out from where there's really good contact. After a few hours, this stuff is going to be solid. Just save yourself time later of a really good cleanup. Wipe all excess epoxy and make sure that every gap is filled.
Last year was a great year for Barefoot boat bumps.
And this year we want to make it an even better one. We're not going to be able to do that without a little bit of support.
We set up a page on Patreon, which is a fundraising website helping small enterprises like ourselves.
Registration is simple. It only takes a few minutes and you can pledge as little or as much as you can afford. As a Patreon subscriber, you'll have access to many benefits with us. You'll be able to see our videos before anybody else. We'll send you a welcome pack. And if you ever get a chance, we'll take you sailing as well.
Click the link below to access our Patreon page. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube and like us on Facebook.